good evening, and good afternoon, lovies, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nai, and today we are finishing Enchanted Secrets. Now, we are literally almost done, so this video will probably not be that long, but I will say to leave your final synopsis, how you feel about this book, at the end in the comments below. So we are currently on chapter 13. So at the end of this book, I am gonna read the first chapter of the Enchanted Academy, and then obviously eventually I read it on my channel. However, this is the first, this is the baby, the second one, chef's kiss. So just be prepared to hate the ending of this book. The next book, of course, is Enchanted Academy. We will be reading chapter 1 of this today, and then we'll be reading chapters 13 through 17 of Enchanted Secrets. So without further ado, let's go. So chapter 13, where we left off, they are at the ball and Thorn leaves something on the table. Now, we don't know what it is, but we can kind of guess what it is. So chapter 13, Hard Conversations. This is in Isara's perspective. Isara, right in front of me, in my hand, is my birth certificate. There is no way that this is mine. No way that the person listed under father is my father. No way that they knew about this. No way that I broke the oath. Tears run down my face as I think about what to do, and the only option I come up with is to call the queen. I wipe my face, walk out of the room, and ask the queen to chat urgently. We walk back into the conference room, and she has a look of worry on her face. Serafina is the closest thing I have ever had to a mother, so I know that this is going to be rough. What is so urgent that we need to discuss? She says in an inquisitive tone. I found out who broke the oath, and you are never going to guess who it was, and how I found out. This is news. Do tell. So you know that I grew up in Libretopia Shaper and never knew my parents, and they said they couldn't find my records. Right? Go on. Well, I was walking past the conference room on the way to the bathroom when I saw the door open and a sheet of paper on the table. I thought it may have been something important, so I came to take a look. Go on. Well, I slide the paper in her direction, waiting for her to read it. Her eyes go as wide as they did when she saw the royal kitchen covered in flour when Lorelai and I tried to bake a cake when we were younger. Is this real? I believe so. It has the stamp. She reads over the paper and looks over at me. She grabs my hand and squeezes. You are a princess, she smiles and hugs me tightly. She waves to her lady-in-waiting to fetch King Florian. In about 5 minutes, he enters the room, greets us, and Serafina tells the story to him. He looks at the paper and instantly recognizes my mother's name. I remember Rosalie. She went to school with us, Serafina. I was in love with her, and we dated all through high school. She always wore her hair in long braids with ribbons, sweaters, boots, and a jean skirt. She was top of the class. He recalled the information like it was yesterday. Yes, I do, Serafina says. We fell in love, and before graduation, my father found out and told us we had to break up because she wasn't of rank. I was devastated and couldn't tell her, so I never spoke to her again after. He looks pained to share that. A tear rolls down my cheek. I never knew my mom, and I've always wanted to know about her. She passed away in childbirth. I grew up at Libretopia Shaper, I say with a lump in my throat, looking at him, watching him lose the spark behind his eyes. I am so sorry about that. I really did love your mom, and I had no idea she was pregnant. I have so many stories about her. She was gorgeous. You look just like her, he shares and takes a deep breath. I know that I haven't been present, and honestly not because I hadn't wanted to, but I would love to get to know you and introduce you to society as my daughter and as the princess, of course. I would love that, I say, as I am fully crying now. I hug them both, and we walk out of the conference room. Here we go. She's a princess. Isara is a princess. Chapter 14, the announcement. Again, in Isaura's perspective. I have a father. He is King Florian. I am a princess. Princess Isaura. Still in shock at the ball my theme got picked for, King Florian commands the ball to halt for an announcement. The announcement. Charmers, Libras, and Shimmers. I would like to make an announcement. It has come to my attention that an oath has been broken. An oath regarding a child of royalty living in another kingdom. This was an old oath made long before my time. Queen Seraphina has been working very hard to determine what the cause was. He pauses and looks over at me. I smile and nod. I have a daughter that I had no knowledge of, as my parents forbade me to be with her mother when we were young. She passed away during childbirth many years ago and was unable to let me know. Today I would like to announce my daughter, Isaura, as the Princess of Charmington. Everyone murmurs, claps, and looks at me as I walk to stand next to King Florian, my father. Lorelai looks at me with wide eyes and is cheering and smiling. She mouths, "You need to tell me everything." As I look through the crowd, I see Nissa, Soren, Felix, and Thorin look at each other and then continue to clap and cheer. A few minutes pass and the ball returns back to the usual festivities. But I know that I have to have a conversation tonight. A conversation with Thorn. Now, this part of the chapter is in Thorn's perspective. She knows. The secret is out. I knew what I was doing when I left the birth certificate on the table in the conference room, but I didn't think she was going to find it, or anyone for that matter, in this to transpire. Tonight. Soren, Nissa, Felix, and I all share a few looks, trying to figure out how they found out. Nonetheless, relieved that it is no longer a secret. Isaura approaches me, and my heart is dropping as she gets closer. "Hey, can I speak with you?" she says, not looking me in my eyes. Sure, we walked over to the main entryway. "What's up?" "I know you knew about my birth certificate. I know you left it on the table, and I overheard your conversation with Felix, Nissa, and Soren. I just want to know why you didn't tell me. I told you about my past and how I have been wanting to know about my parents. I thought you were my friend." She wipes a tear from her face, and I instantly feel bad. "I wanted to tell you." "Obviously not bad enough. You didn't care about how this would have made me feel." "I did. We didn't want to tell you until we had more information. It was from a game. We didn't know it was real." "Well, that genuinely hurt my feelings, and unfortunately, I can't trust you anymore." She walks away in silence without a look back. I messed up. Chapter 15, the aftermath. In Isaura's perspective. "You're a princess now?" Lorelai says as we take off our makeup. "I guess so," I shrug, still in shock by the news. "Tell me everything." I recall the story to her, including me overhearing Soren, Nissa, Felix, and Thorn in the conference room, my meeting with her mom and King Florian, as well as my conversation with Thorn. She sighs. "I feel like you were harsh on him. Like, I get that he kept it from you, but it also seems like he was trying to protect you and he wanted to tell you." "Yeah, but he broke my trust." "Again, I get that, but he wasn't the only one who knew the secret. Plus, if you were in his position and got a birth certificate from Charms and Swords, would you really believe it was real? We have to be serious." I think for a second, slightly feeling remorseful. "No." "Exactly. In the end, you are a princess, and even if he was slightly in the wrong, you can't blame him for being cautious." We sit in silence for a second and then head to bed. I lay awake for about an hour, imagining my life and how it is going to change drastically. I drift asleep knowing that I still have to continue to have hard conversations. I wake up to a knock on my front door. Lorelai hits me to let me know that someone is at the door. On my walk to the door, I wipe my face and fix my hair enough. I open it, and to my surprise, it is Vivi. She congratulates me, handing me a Charmington scroll, and walks down the walkway. "Open it!" Lorelai yells, moving to sit up beside me to read the scroll. "Dear Isaura, as you know, the oath that you were trying to solve requires for royalty to live in their kingdom. I know it is fast. However, I want to invite you to live in the castle. This is to restore the oath as well as acquaint you to royalty. I would love to make up for lost time and get you to prepare to one day take over Charmington. If you agree, I would love to have you move by the end of the week. I also would love to have you over for lunch today. You can bring Lorelai to discuss the details. Best regards, King Florian. I guess we're going to Charmington today, I say. Chapter 16, Regrets. Thorn. We all had a part in it. Don't beat yourself up, Soren says. It is our weekly game night, and we have been rehashing my conversation with Isara. I still feel bad about how it unfolded. It's over now. She's a princess. Give her some time and she will come around, Nissa says with an empathetic voice. We aren't feeling excited today, so we end up watching a movie. On my walk home, I run through the events of the weekend and think about if I made the right choice. Ultimately, I know I did, but it was at the cost of a friend and someone I had just begun to fall for. Soren. I feel bad for Thorn. He has been so down since the conversation he had with Isara. He really liked her. I can understand why she was hurt, though. I would be too. I hate seeing him like this, though. Game night was lackluster, and honestly, no one was feeling it. Felix spent most of his time reading something from his pocket. When I leaned over, he turned it away. Nissa was painting her nails, so of course, she was into that. I just sat there and stared at Thorn, who looked like a sad puppy. It's the next day, and I'm in my office editing, reviewing, and filing ancient texts. I can't stop thinking about Thorn. Yes, I like him, but at the end of the day, he is my best friend. I decide I'm going to take matters into my own hands. I walk to Binders Road and head toward the castle. I needed to talk to Isara. As I'm walking past Squirrel's Ice Cream, I abandon my courage to talk to her. I see her in the window, kissing Prince Ashwin. I end up walking to the Tri-Kingdom Point where I know Thorn is having lunch. I'd rather tell him than stumble upon it myself. I call to him as I approach the point and ask for him to take a quick walk. Hey, I have something to tell you. I know you have been down on yourself about Isara, and I just wanted to tell you something myself before you find out in the worst way. Okay? Well, I had this idea to go talk to Isara because I know how much you like her, and I wanted her to hear me out about you and where your heart was. Anyway, on my way past Squirrel's Ice Cream on Binders Road, I saw Isara. And she was kissing Prince Ashwin. His face loses all color, and he looks like he's about to throw up. I offered to hug him, but he refuses. He walks back to his soldiers and leads them back on their paths. Chapter 17, I'm a Princess. A few days later, Isara. I have officially moved into the castle. It has genuinely been a long weekend. As I lay on this beautiful canopy pink bed, I feel so grateful. King Florian and I have spent a lot of time together, including breakfast together every morning and touring the castle. Lorelai has also been over a lot to help me adjust to life. In the next 4 months, we will have to go to Enchanted Academy to learn all things royalty. I already chose my lady-in-waiting, who will also attend with me. Also, Prince Ashwin and I have started dating. I made the decision after the whole ball conversation with Thorn. I have forgiven, but I don't plan to really hash anything out with him. Life has been good, and I am happy. That is the end of Enchanted Secrets. Now, at the end, we basically find out that they are going to Enchanted Academy in the next 4 months, and she has chosen her lady-in-waiting. We also find out that she has chosen Prince Ashwin instead of Thorn. Now, in the comments, please let me know how you feel about that. Please let me know how you feel about the ending. It is tumultuous. My students, when I read this book to them, or when I was writing it, they were like, you got to get rid of Isara. We hate her. She's at the top of our hit list. But just know we still have the second book. So just as a sneak peek, we have Enchanted Academy. I'm going to read chapter 1. So in this book, we introduce 3 new kingdoms: Emberglow, Stormania, yes, and Winterland. So before we just had Charmington, Libratopia, and Shimmerwood. This one has my name on it. Before you get into the book, on the first page, it has my dedications. My dedications are to my amazing coworkers who always believed in me, to my students who encouraged me to continue to write, and to my friends for always supporting me. So, we're going to read chapter 1, which is Chosen. So this book has similar characters or the same characters, but we also have some new characters. Obviously, it's a different book, so we know that it's not all going to be the same. So I'm only reading chapter 1, and then in my next read aloud, it'll be chapter 1 through, I think, how many chapters are in this book? Chapter 1 through, we'll do 4. All right, chapter 1. Dear Soren, you have been chosen to be the future lady-in-waiting for Princess Isara. Due to your selection, you will be required to attend Enchanted Academy for training and bonding with the princess. You will be sent a carriage in the maze of Jazzy to be taken to the academy. You will share a dorm with Penelope from Shimmerwood. The duration of the semester will be 6 mazes long, and you will have a total of 4 semesters. Please prepare accordingly. Best regards, Enchanted Academy. Soren. This is a joke. I flipped the scroll back and forth to ensure that it's for me. On the ribbon that is tied to the scroll, sure enough, it says Soren Night Scribe. It is currently bloom, meaning I only have 2 months to prepare to leave for Enchanted Academy. My surprise is not because I have to go to Enchanted Academy, but because Isara chose me to be her lady-in-waiting. After what occurred at the ball, I am surprised she even wanted to be around me. I mean, I guess she's talking to Thorn again, kinda, but still, I'm honored, but definitely surprised. Enchanted Academy is a dream. It's where all royalty and their staff go to prepare for their roles. It is for all the kingdoms. Our kingdoms, Shimmerwood, Libratopia, and Charmington, as well as some that are a little farther away, such as Emberglow, Winterland, and Stormania. I have never been to the other kingdoms, however, they are very well known for their enthusiasm for sporting events and shopping centers. I'm excited to see what I can learn there, but something about Isara choosing me is throwing me off. Before I can go to talk to her, I need to ask Thorn if there is a reason or if she has mentioned it. As I walk to the Tri-Kingdom Point, I admire the scenery of the flowers and the lake and the animals roaming. When I arrive, I see that Isara is talking to Thorn. They seem to be laughing at something the other said, and honestly, this is perfect. Hey guys, I say, trying to sound chipper. Hey, they say as they wave to me while I approach. I'm glad both of you are in the same place. I wanted to ask about this announcement I got from Enchanted Academy, showing them the scroll. Thorn looks at Isara and raises a brow. So he didn't know. Yes, I was on my way to come talk to you, but saw Thorn and decided to say hi. Our conversation got a little carried away. That's okay, we can talk about it now if you'd like, Your Majesty, I say flatly. She winces slightly before she says her goodbyes to Thorn. We walk on the path toward Charmington before she begins to speak. I bet you're probably wondering why I chose you. I give a dry laugh. I'm definitely confused. Well, I know that the whole thing happened at the ball with the secret and blah, 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 but I'm over it, and honestly, I have always admired you. She continues as my mouth is wide open in disbelief. Our fields of work, or my past work, was very similar, and I always loved how detailed you were. Everyone loves you, and I know you give good advice. Thorn always talks about how you help him, and since moving to Charmington, I have been searching for something more. I don't respond right away, digesting the fact that she genuinely likes me. I appreciate that. I'm surprised you know about my work. I never really talk about it, and no one ever seems to care about the little details. Well, I do. I think you would make an amazing lady-in-waiting and would be very helpful in getting acquainted in Charmington because of your background in magical history. Thank you. I know that it is going to be a lot going to Enchanted Academy, but I'm glad you chose me as your right hand. This will be our opportunity to learn more about each other. Of course. Well, I have to run. I have some projects that I need to finish up before we go to the academy in Jazzy. Thank you for selecting me. It means a lot, really. Of course. I will see you soon. I'm walking to the Charmington library to do some research on spells, but I can't shake that Isara actually likes me. Obviously, I have friends and I know people like me, but it's usually because of my humor or what I have done for them. She likes me for my professionalism, my detail-oriented personality, for my ability to be focused and disciplined. It's definitely not every day that someone mentions that side of me, especially my friends. They take every opportunity to make fun of me for those exact things. It's refreshing to be admired for that. Actually, I am going to read chapter 2. You know why? Because we have to introduce this character. This is probably one of my favorite characters by far. He seems very, como se dice, real, normal, relatable. So we're going to read chapter 2, and then we'll figure out what we're going to read in the next read alouds. So, chapter 2, My Duty. Asher. Do I have to go? I'm not even royal-like in your words. That's exactly why you need to go. They teach you all the things you need to know. My mother says, about to go on a tangent. You're next in line for the thorn, Asher. My job as queen is to make sure that I put my people of Emberglow first. That means sending you to Enchanted Academy to get you in line. You really think that's gonna work? I scoff. It better. You will make sure of it. She pats my cheek and looks me dead in the eye. It's time to lock in. I stare at her as she walks out of the room, and honestly, I'm over this already. I genuinely can't keep this going. I don't want to be king, and I know for sure that I don't want to go to some academy with all of the annoying royals and their potential for 2 years. My mom might have to just be mad. I decide that I'm going to go horseback riding through the Phoenix to calm my nerves. I change my clothes to some light wash jeans, a fitted white t-shirt, black riding boots, and a black cowboy hat. The castle is quiet today. My letter from the academy arrived on a Sunday. Honestly, that's insane. Who sends mail on a Sunday? Anyway, most of the staff is off today except for the chef and my parents' staff. Queen Zifra needs her staff, I guess. I walk through the barn to my horse, Cinder, and stroke her mane to greet her. In a matter of minutes, I have brushed, saddled, and mounted her. I make my way through the Phoenix and continue to ride. I don't want to be at home. I don't want to go to Enchanted Academy. I don't want to talk to my parents. And I definitely don't want to be the next king. With these thoughts zooming through my mind, I keep riding faster and faster. As the only son, there is so much pressure to be perfect. The one thing I am far from. In grade school, I lit the spell room on fire by accident because I said Ignacia instead of Rosacea. In secondary, I skipped class more than I went because I didn't see why I needed to go anyway. If it weren't for the fact that I'm the prince, I would probably be in a dungeon somewhere for the behavior I display. Not because I'm a bad person or anything, but I hate more than anything the image that is expected of me. But it's my duty, I hear ringing in my head more and more these days. Zoning back into my ride, I notice I'm in a kingdom I have never been in. In a flash, I see a girl cross the path, but I can't stop Cinder in time. We collide. I jump down immediately and run to her side to check on her. Miss, are you okay? I am so sorry. I didn't see you there. She doesn't respond for a second and then whimpers. I am okay. I'm not convinced. That was a pretty nasty fall. I look at her face and notice her eyes are not open yet. I'm going to take you to get some help. I lift her and put her on the back of Cinder and ride into the kingdom to find an infirmary. I see what looks like a princess and yell to her for help. She immediately recognizes the girl on the back of the horse and calls for help from the castle. They rush and grab her. What happened? Who are you? She says. I was riding and she walked across the path. I couldn't stop in time and my horse ran over her. It was truly an accident. And the second question? I am Prince Ashwin. Prince Asher, sorry, of Emberglow. This is the perfect time to throw this around. Another reason why I'm not fit to be king. Trying to get out of trouble by using power. And you are? Princess Isara. Nice to meet you. What's the name of the girl I hit with my horse? Soren. She's going to be my lady in waiting. Hopefully she is okay. If you don't mind, I would love to wait around to see her through her recovery or take her back to my kingdom. I say we wait until she's stable and let her decide. You can wait while they check her out. I nod and follow her inside. It is an extravagant castle. Bows and banners everywhere, marble floors, and the fresh smell of Bo Peeps are the first thing I notice. Soren, I think her name is sitting in a chair in the infirmary of the castle. Her eyes are open now and she's drinking water. The doctor said she is going to be fine and may have a concussion. She will need to rest. Chapters 1 and 2 of this book. Now, this book is probably my favorite of the two. And an announcement, I am officially writing the third book of this series. It is going to be called Enchanted Academy sophomore semester. I'm super excited. And honestly, it's going to be great. So, if you want to see more of Enchanted Academy, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I enjoy these read alouds. And I enjoy reading my book again through this. And yeah, can't wait to see you next time. As always, love ya.